Avalanches have killed 7 people in Colorado this season. This past weekend was the deadliest yet. 3 people died.
We've already passed the seasonal average for avalanche deaths, and March can certainly be a dangerous month as well. 9 News reporter Katie Eastman spoke with the Colorado Avalanche Information Center about the dangers.
Every year, there is avalanche danger in Colorado, but the danger varies by day and location.
They were in an area that typically doesn't have a lot of snow.
Ethan Green, the director of the Colorado Avalanche Information Center, says the 2 skiers killed in La Plata County over the weekend were experienced in the backcountry.
In this particular case, these 2 skiers were well equipped. But they were also both caught in the same avalanche, so there was nobody around to perform a rescue.
The coroner identified the victims as James Sutton and Jurgen Montgomery. La Plata County says they were buried under 4 feet of snow. Green says in trainings, they teach people to travel through hazardous areas one at a time.
If everybody's caught in the same avalanche, the chances of a bad outcome go up very quickly.
But in another location in the San Juans, a snowmobiler was with a group of 4 others when he was caught in an avalanche on Saturday. They were unable to rescue him. That brought the total of avalanche deaths this season to 7.
Most of the avalanche deaths in Colorado happen in January, February, and March. And obviously, we're just at the end of February, so we still have a lot of avalanche season left this winter.
The area where the 2 skiers were killed was also a burn scar. Ethan told me that likely had an impact on the avalanche, but it was more likely that the snow structure contributed to those conditions. An investigation should hopefully tell them more. The area of the San Juans they were in had a weak bottom layer of snow with a thick layer of snow piled on top from that snowstorm last week. That's what contributed to the avalanche conditions.
So we were just asking because obviously this is kind of an epic year for snow, and you're hearing that some of these people had all the right equipment, they were experienced, still it wasn't enough. What can you do to protect yourself?
I mean, the biggest thing that CAIC says to do is to check every day the conditions. Make sure you know what you are going into. Even if you've been to that area before and you're like, that area usually doesn't get avalanches, it can change so quickly.
Yep, that's good advice, because people are still going to go and enjoy their backcountry, so hopefully they heed those warnings. Katie, thank you.
Thank you, Katie. Deputies in Boulder County are looking for a missing snowboarder near Caribou, just north of Nederland. Rescue crews say the 50-year-old man was reported overdue last night. They could not search for him at the time because of the weather. They started their search this morning. CAIC says there are no avalanches reported in that area or any indication that this was related to an avalanche.
Giving you a live look outside right now. This is Fort Collins. Blue skies, a sunny day with another one set for tomorrow. So let's check in with Kathy. What a glorious weekend. Much deserved.
I love it when I can bring good news on a Monday, right?
Oh, yeah.
You guys know what else I just remembered?
What?
We start daylight saving time. It begins on March 12th.
Wow.
That's a couple
already.
weeks away.
Yeah, and I just, honestly, that's funny you say that, because just yesterday I was driving at about 6 p.m. and I'm like, the sun is still out. It's like
a good feeling.
It is.
Yeah, here we go, right?
Huh.
So, yeah, just a couple weeks away. But when we talk about daylight saving time, and then we're going to spring forward, we lose that hour, of sleep for a lot of us. It's also just, another week until spring begins. So we are right there. And I know that after the weekend we had, a lot of us are kind of feeling like maybe spring is actually possible after the never-ending winter, it seems like. But we've got to get through another Wednesday storm this week. We've had multiple Wednesday storms, and we're going to see that again this week. Now outside, beautiful in Denver. Snow in the high country, wind along the foothills, above average temperatures. DIA at 49, but did manage 50 out there, 55 downtown, 60s in southeastern Colorado, 20s, 30s in the high country today. Should be a beautiful sunset tonight. If you get a picture, send it in and I'll post it right here on 9 News. Wind has been the big story. Warm westerly Chinook downsloping winds. I'm sure a lot of you saw that snow and ice melt off the lawn, the sidewalk, the driveway. You're like, yes. And then there's, another storm coming. But due to the wind and the warmth, concerns for high fire danger. Believe it or not, we're talking about a red flag warning in southeastern Colorado because of the wind and lack of moisture. But that's all about to change with a system that's approaching. It's upstream from us, so we get one more day before the system rolls in on Wednesday. Not a lot happening on the radar at this time, but those winter weather and travel advisories for accumulating snow will continue in areas like Eagle, Aspen, Vale, Gunnison, and into the Montrose area as well. And then some of that will start to filter down along the Front Range. But tonight is beautiful. We have 51 in Denver. We'll slide 10 degrees by 8 o'clock. We're tracking that Wednesday storm. Metro snow forecast not overly impressive at this point, but I think it's the timing of the snow that might fall on Wednesday that could pose a problem. And I'll explain more coming up.
Okay.
Just used to it now.
We're just
Wednesday,
getting
it
through
snows.
Monday. Yeah, thanks, Kathy.
There you go.
An emotional goodbye memorial service today honored a Jefferson County canine killed in the line of duty.
Officers, deputies, and other police dogs paid their respects to Graffiti, who died 2 weeks ago while chasing down a suspect in Golden. On February 13th, Graffiti and his handler, Jeffco Sheriff's Deputy Zach Oliver, responded to the Colorado School of Mines to help find a man suspected of stealing a car. Deputy Oliver released Graffiti into a wooded area to chase the suspect. The Jeffco Sheriff's Office says the suspect then shot and killed Graffiti. During today's service, Deputy Oliver said Graffiti was the best partner he could possibly have, courageous, tenacious, and loving.
I think every canine handler wants to believe that they have the best canine on the team. However, I actually knew I had the best canine on the team. I knew this because before I even found out Graffiti would someday be mine, I ranked him as the #1 dog on the team.
Graffiti was 10 years old. He had been with the Jefferson County Sheriff's Department for 8 years. The man accused of killing him is facing numerous charges, including aggravated cruelty to animals.
Dish Network on day 4 of a massive outage that's affecting streams, websites, customer support, and customer accounts. People aren't even able to pay their bills. If you go to Dish Network's website, this is what it looks like. A note saying they're experiencing a system issue. Dish, which is based in Inglewood, has not publicly commented on what happened. Many reports, though, are suspecting it's a cyber attack. The outage is affecting Dish's website, apps, and Boost Mobile. Dish says its TV services are back up and running at this point. Cybersecurity experts aren't surprised it's taking a long time to get to the bottom of it.
In general, the reason that it takes so much time to get back up is because they have frozen all of the systems. They've frozen the backups. They've frozen people's access and the phone numbers that they call. So it's very difficult to recover from a ransomware attack.
John Cilio says it's crucial for organizations to have a good backup or recovery system in place to be able to bounce back from situations like this quickly.
Maybe you saw it if you gazed up at the sky overnight. You would have been lucky enough to catch a rare aurora borealis or the northern lights.
And the good news is you might get to see it again in case you missed it.
Thank goodness, I always miss the good stuff.
I never know when to look. Now we know. There is actually a lot of science behind it, but the gist of it is the high solar winds enhance what is basically a solar storm. And if that storm is big enough and weather conditions here on Earth are just right, it can be seen at latitudes that are further south, like here in Colorado.
But I think what we want to track is the speed of the solar wind. If that stays up there above 800 kilometers per second, or even close to that, that certainly could contribute to additional northern lights being visible tonight. And if the KP index stays up there because of that, same thing. We may see northern lights again tonight.
Well, it's all about the KP index. When he says up there, he means it should be 7 or higher. The KP index measures the strength of a geomagnetic storm. You can track that in the solar wind velocity at spaceweather.com. And there's a lot of people that are really into that and understand it, so props on them. And best places to see the northern lights are in the plains and places like Estes Park. Just get away from the city.
Yeah, I mean, essentially Denver has too much of what they call light pollution, which just means all the city lights. So don't beat yourself up if you can't see it because the lights wash out the sky. It's just too hard to see in some places here.
Maybe somebody will share video.
That would be nice.
Watch that, yes.
A year spent researching barbecue sounds like a dream job, if you ask me. The soul food scholar is researching its roots and its ties to the Black community.